Okay, so there is a crazy story behind Bali and this announcement for the Empress experience. And I think I need to tell you guys a little long form behind the scenes because I want you guys to really get the vibe of what this experience is going to be like. But not only that, there is so much magic loaded up into this portal. And I'm already seeing those feeling called, like starting to feel the effects of it. And I just announced it. So this is going to fill up. It's not a suit. There's not a ton of spots. It's meant to be a more intimate, kind of like high level experience. So if you're feeling pings, DM me. But I'm so glad you're here because let's get into the origin story with Bali. I got a huge download for this, which was actually insane that I'm going to tell in a minute. But I just want to give some context of the fact that I hadn't really had Bali on my mind. And this completely summoned me. And it's not summoning me, it's summoning, me to create this experience because it's summoning a bunch of you. So yes, I'm also going to be in this experience and having my own experience. But if this is summoning you, it's for a reason. Bali is one of those places, just like Egypt, that summons, and I'm already seeing it happen firsthand. And I think this is going to be just such an abundant experience for everybody involved, and I literally can't wait. So long story short, a bunch of you know that I recently hosted a retreat in Egypt, which was insane. It was hard to put into words, the portal. I was just catching up with some of the people on the trip, and we were like, wow, we feel like Egypt completely booted us. Egypt is a little bit more intense. It's going to boot you. It's going to really move the lower densities. And, that's what these places do. That's what Bali does as well, from my understanding. But yeah, Egypt was very much like a boot. And there's been so many changes that I feel like you guys have probably noticed on my page and how I show up, all because of the magic of Egypt. But wow, that that portal really gutted me and others from the inside out. So 2 days before leaving for Egypt, I was really starting to feel the portal effect. The week before, the goddess Isis was really in my orbit during this time, and she was showing up for me everywhere. And so I'm like really feeling the energetic upgrades all around. And, so I was in a lot of half sleeps in the middle of the night, and those are usually when I get my best downloads. I don't know about you guys. Let me know listening to this. If you're listening to this, I want to hear how you guys get your downloads. Or if you don't feel like you're getting those downloads, I think it's just means that you need to get tapped in with your soul audience, because every client I talk to, when they drop in with their soul audience, that's when these downloads come like crazy. So about 2 nights before leaving to Egypt, and mind you, I am going through some major up levels. With Egypt, I was figuring out some of these like financial things that were totally stretching my nervous system in a new way. And so I'm feeling these huge up levels, and then I'm in I wish I remembered more on how, I think I felt Bali in my orbit, like maybe just that day, but a lot of times I won't really consciously understand it until something happens. And so it literally, in the middle of the night, I got a dream. I think it was 5 a.m. is usually when I wake up. I literally had a dream that laid out the dates on a calendar and then gave me an idea of what the experience would be like, which, by the way, guys, this is meant to be a mini, I want to say like high end for sure, but, my version of high end is more just like lusciously abundant. It's not necessarily like gold plated and you know what I mean? Not that that's not amazing, but it's like this beautiful open villa with tons of space. Everyone's going to get their own rooms, and we're not going to be traveling around Bali. We're going to be in one place. And so I would not have been able to tell you a city consciously. And the city literally summoned, like in the dream, and wrote it out. And the city is Ubud. So we're going to Ubud, Bali, Indonesia. Oh my gosh. And that's actually another thing. I've been having little dreams about Bali. And I had this dream waking up where everyone was saying Bali, Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia. So I'm going to be, I don't know if that's like exactly how everyone says it. But that being said, it literally got laid out, like planned in the dream for us. And so I already know that this means this portal is going to be insane. And so basically the experience is going to be, again, this kind of like luscious is the word coming to mind. It's kind of half vacation, half exploring. and also half masterminding. So this is called the Empress experience, and it's inviting you into this more Empress energy in your soul-led business. So this is really going to be for anyone of all stages, by the way, guys. But the way I felt called to copyright this is people looking to, or for those looking to jump into their more abundant, relaxing, like feminine energy era. And you guys maybe have noticed that this is like a huge shift that I've been also going through, is like this total rebalancing of energies. And I've always been focused. I've actually been told by many people that I'm someone with like the like super balanced energy for a business mentor. Like usually someone's really in their masculine or in their feminine. And I can tend to be in a bit of both or one or the other at different times, but I've always been told I'm very balanced. And so we are bringing in both, like more deepening our feminine energy, our Empress energy specifically, because as you're building your soul-led business, and a lot of times I like to call this the soul-led empire, because it's like you are, for those of you in metamorphosis, you feel called to, you know, build your business in a big way, because that is how your purpose is going to get out into the world. And so I love to call this empire. So the Empress of your empire, and knowing that your empire is, you know, meant for people, meant for the goodness of the world. And so that being said, we're really, really shifting into this queen driver's seat. And I think what I see a lot in soul-led business is a lot of people operating out of this old paradigm energy. And this is something that I have been constantly working on behind the scenes. It's never meant to be fully perfect, but how can we continue to deepen in our trust with the divine? And these types of moments, like I had personally with this Bali experience, just really solidified it. And then the excitement that I've been seeing you guys have around this, I'm like, okay, this is just so divine. And so how can we deepen that experience? How can we deepen ourselves, our intuition, our gifts? And not only that, how can we deepen our connection to the audience that we are meant to serve and share our gifts with? So this experience really is meant to be, it's going to be 8 days, 7 nights in Ubud, Bali. Again, we're not going to be traveling around, but obviously from the US, for those coming from the US, this is a huge flight. I am actually going to be spending probably 2 weeks there, close to 2 weeks, not quite, but so I definitely encourage you guys to explore if you want to explore other places. But this retreat is meant to feel like a regrounding. We're going to reground in the magic of Bali. I have never been, you know, so far I've been to Egypt before I hosted a retreat there. So this is going to be a really unique experience for me as well. But I can feel the land. I've been looking at the temples and I can just feel it. And it's crazy. I cannot believe the magic that I can feel. It reminds me of the feeling when I felt Costa Rica before I hosted a trip there. And, you know, the magic that unfolds when you're able to feel this energy is potent. So if you're someone, you're listening here, I'm guessing you're feeling drawn to this retreat, you know, send me a DM. We can chat and see if this is a fit, see if you're a fit for this. Because this is definitely, especially with my retreat spaces, I do really protect these spaces. And, you know, if there's been times where beautiful, amazing people have wanted to come to these retreats, but sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's the right time. And I'm not afraid to mention that. So that being said, just send me a DM. We'll see if it's a fit. And if this is calling you, welcome to your freaking Empress era, because wow, I can't even believe, and I can't even think about what life is going to look like in 6 months. Like we're actually about 6 months out. I believe we're getting close to this. When we get to the 12th, we're going to be 6 months out, which is crazy. But also that means when you guys book now, you are going to be able to put it on payment plans if that feels aligned. For those that do pay in full, I always have fun bonuses for you as well. So guys, if you're feeling this, shoot me a DM. So glad we got to listen to this backstory.